Yeah, I mean, look how winded Harry is.
Seriously, man. There are people that haven't worked out as much as you have. Give him a break.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's just a writer. It's not like he's gonna be spending all of his time in the gym.
Is that his confirmed profession?
Yeah.
He was a writer? And he never wrote about Silent Hill?
Well,
After visiting it?
Well, that depends on your interpretation of the events as well as what ending you get.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, because I know in Silent Hill Shattered Memories, they confirm that Harry's a writer.
Oh, they confirmed it? Okay.
Yeah. They even kind of have like a veiled jab at Twilight in the moment where he's discussing it.
Okay. So there is actually one quick thing that I wanna reference because this just barely happened today. So Forlorn Hope, a regular on my channel as well as a listener of the podcast, in one of our most recent episodes of Silent Hill that was just barely put up, actually mentions to us that the original Xbox Silent Hill 2 plays poorly on Xbox 360. That's what I did, and a lot of the textures were missing in the second half of the game. White walls. I also watched my friends play the PS2 game on PS3, and James's foot would disappear every few seconds. So PS2 or OG, so PS2 on PS3 or OG PS2 is probably your best bet.
Yeah.
So I think, we can just make fun of the fact that his foot goes missing from time to time.
Yeah, but at the same time, though, if stuff like that can really affect the atmosphere of these types of games and kind of...
I could see the white walls affecting things, but a missing foot on a model, I don't think that'll have too much of an effect.
But it's very much a case where that if Konami didn't, screw the pooch with their HD remasters... But then again,
we could have used those.
This is Konami, where nothing is sacred.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. And I'm still getting people from both ends saying that on the podcast on Friday, we were either too harsh because, a collection's better than nothing is basically the argument that they were making. We're getting the Castlevania collection, why be so snobbish about it? And then the others are just like, yeah, this is absolutely abysmal. What on earth was Konami thinking with these arcade, Castlevania, and Contra collections?
Well, my theory is that they're basically trying to be like, let's try to hype up these other franchises that aren't associated with Hideo Kojima.
That's kind of the speculation that a lot of people have, is that because they're doing these 50th anniversary collections for them, that Konami sometime this year is going to have major announcements regarding Contra and Castlevania. Because, and look, this is kind of justified because when you look at things in the grand hierarchy of Konami, Contra has fallen off over the many years, but Metal Gear hasn't. Castlevania got that resurge, so you could bring that back.
Well, yeah, especially because of the success of the Netflix show, that's drummed up a lot of new interest.
Yeah. So you have those. Those make sense to do some kind, not necessarily a collection for, but something with them.
Well, yeah. Like Castlevania, definitely. And the arcade games, well, it's kind of one of those cases when you consider how well the arcade emulated stuff has been doing on things like on PS4 and Switch.
And my guess is that since Konami, maybe Konami just doesn't want to give any attention to Metal Gear because they put out Survive and nobody liked it.
That, and just given how publicly everything went on with Kojima Gate, it's very much a case they don't want to open any old wounds or deal with any of the public backlash.
But this would probably be the time, in your 50th anniversary... I hate to say it, but I've seen the fan demand. This would be the time to announce that Silent Hills is being done, and here's the team that's doing it. I doubt you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Because the collections are really easy to build. But, that's another one that you could do, is the penultimate Silent Hill collection. Oh, yeah, by the way, we fixed all the problems.
Yeah.
Because didn't they do that with the Metal Gear collection?
Well, to a point. It was
Zone of the Enders they did. I know that.
Yeah, with the Metal Gear collections, I think given that Kojima was still at the company, there was very much I don't know, I guess since those games were somewhat newer and had enhanced versions already, they didn't have to do as much work because you had Metal Gear Solid 2 and then you had Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance and then Metal Gear Solid 3 and then Metal Gear Solid Subsistence, and so given that they already had like a better version already built, it wasn't as much work to port those over.
Yeah, I believe that. Oh, wow, nice. Okay, it's Super Tuesday. Oh no! I only know the political version of Super Tuesday, so if there's something else in Japan, I'm not aware of what it is.
I would try to read the sign, but I'm currently running for my life from a devil dog.
Let's see. No parking anytime. That's another thing that they encourage people to just walk. There's no parking anytime on any street.
Yeah. I guess this is where Ralph Becker got his start. That's a dated reference.
Indeed.
Yeah, for the people who don't know, Ralph Becker was the mayor of Salt Lake City, and he actually tried pushing for more people to walk and stuff like that. Didn't work out too well.
No, it blew up in his face, if I recall.
Yep. It very much was a case of stop trying to turn Salt Lake City and New York if you're not going to fully commit.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so in here,
There's
should
a save
be
point.
2 health drinks. I remember that. Handgun bullets. Or maybe it was just handgun bullets. No, that's right, because the bus had...
Yeah.
The bus had the 2 health drinks. So the gas station has handgun bullets and a gasoline tank.
Well, I don't see the gasoline tank.
Maybe we just didn't... Maybe we missed the time for it to be here? I don't know.
Maybe.
It's just going to suck if we have to come back and get it.
Well, I don't see it, so maybe it was meant for an earlier puzzle.
Maybe. You guys will let us know, obviously, because you guys are paying attention.
Yep.
And thankfully, we have people like Forlorn Hope who are actually who have played Silent Hill and can actually give us plenty of good advice on how to play the game. So there you go. But that's the thing. Like, if you guys want us to do additional Silent Hill games, this is the way to be able to let us know, because we want to avoid those buggy ones.
Yeah.
But back to the collections. Back to the collection stuff really quick. I know Zone of the Enders had a kerfuffle where they announced they did a 2-game collection on PS3.
Yeah, the original and the second runner.
Game 1 didn't work, or Game 1 worked but had issues, and then Game 2 was unworkable. But later on, they reported second runner on PS4.
Yeah, and specifically to jump in on the VR gimmick, so that's why the A is upside down, because they think they're clever.
Thankfully, though, you don't have to play it that way. I'm very happy to say that. I've confirmed that you do not have to play with a VR headset. You can just play it, because that's another one that since we've been playing the Kojima games, we would eventually have to tackle is Zone of the Enders.
Yep. Which, fortunately, I have a PlayStation 2 copy, so...
Oh, you do? Oh,
yeah.
So you have the original.
Yeah.
Oh, I wouldn't mind that, but I also have the PS4 copy of... I have the PS3 collection, and I have the PS4 second runner.
Yeah,
because I love Zone of the Enders.
Yeah, whereas I have the original Zone of the Enders, and then I have the Game Boy game Fist of Mars, which I only barely touched a little bit. I got it on impulse because at the time that I bought it, I'd also recently bought a Game Boy Micro.
What was it on?
For Game Boy Advance.
Oh, Game Boy Advance. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, and basically Zone of the Enders Fist of Mars is basically Zone of the Enders meets Fire Emblem, where it's basically a strategy RPG.
Gotcha. But yeah, so we know that they've had kerfuffles with collections and they fixed them. So that would be like the best thing. Like if I was Konami and I was really looking to show like a hand of good faith, that'd be the way to do it. Is to do a Silent Hill collection with no bugs, no issues.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like you don't have to have the original Silent Hill because it's available. You could do 2, 3, and maybe the 4th one.
Maybe.
I have a feeling if they were going to do anything for the Silent Hill fans, it'd be 2 and 3.
Yeah, because those are the 2 most popular of the franchise. 4 was kind of divisive from what I've researched, but then came the American titles.
That's the thing that's been kind of interesting going into the Silent Hill series during this playthrough, is that anything past the original 3 is not beloved. It's got problems, and the fan base really hates them.
Yeah. It's just 4 was kind of the. It was kind of.
Or I guess hate is a really bad word, but really divisive.
Yeah, because 4 was kind of like Return of the Jedi for the Silent Hill games, where it was the quote-unquote bad one, but still had stuff about it that people liked.
So to put it into like a Resident Evil context, think 4, 5, and 6, and I'm putting 4 in there very loosely because there's still at least some consensus that Resident Evil 4 is a good game, but 5 and 6 there's pretty much consensus.
Yeah, although between the two, 5 is at least better than 6. Okay, a save point even on the bus,
dude. It's very forgiving when it comes to saving.
Yep.
All right, so that's all the items we got. So I guess now we can take on the waterworks and...
All right. I'm on low enough help, so I'm going to use the first aid kit.
Yeah, let's just use the health drinks, and I will bring up the waterworks map just to make sure that we don't miss anything on it. Thankfully, the sewer system is pretty straightforward. I mean, it's got 2 floors, but...
Yeah.
There's lots of items. There's healing items, there's bullets, so we'll be okay.
Yeah, and to get back on point, like, the way I've heard some people discuss is that they say Resident Evil 4 is a good game, it's just not necessarily a good Resident Evil game, is kind of the way a lot of some fans kind of come down. It's like, hey, as an action game, it works well if you approach it that. Because I know Avalanche Reviews kind of made a pretty good point of how, like Resident Evil 4 is a cool action game, but if you took out the Resident Evil stuff, then the story doesn't really change at all.
Mm-hmm. It's really just 4 is a good game because it was transitioning into an action style kind of deal, which survival horror fans weren't necessarily against.
Yeah, I mean,
as long as you did it right, and that's where the debate kind of comes in.
Yeah, because I mean, when you look at what was going on with Nemesis and how what they were trying to go for with Nemesis, the fact that 4 became an action game shouldn't really be a surprise, because that's what they tried to do with 3, but it didn't work with the tank controls.
All right, so it's locked, but it looks like the padlock is very rusted. So the lock is worn out. I may be able to break it if I hit it hard. So dig out that axe, Romney. And now the axe has suffered durability damage. No, I'm kidding. It doesn't look like durability damage is a thing here, so I'm very happy about that. Anything...
Yeah.
Like, is there a door here? No.
There's a ladder.
It looks like you just go straight down.
Yeah, it's just... I'm too used to Resident Evil where it, like, narrows down the sections.
No freaking kidding. Okay, it looks like the second we come in here, it's going to give us a sewer map. So that'll be very helpful. And I'd just like to point out, rule number 10 bajillion. Do not go into the sewers in a horror movie.
Okay, one thing I just have to wonder, there's always, like, sewer scenes in a horror movie. How come we never have, like, a horror movie where the main character is a sewer worker, so that way them being in the sewers actually
Well, usually,
makes sense?
like you'll have a first victim that is. Like, that happens.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so walk through here. Unfortunately, I can't tell where you're at on the... Oh, wait, let's see, ladder leading... Okay, so I now know where we're at, so keep going.
Okay.
And then at our first fork, you want to turn left. Now, obviously, we want to be a little careful in here.
I'm gonna pull out the gun.
Yeah, probably for the best. Because at the very least, maybe we can incapacitate. And then
and at the very least, we can keep our distance.
Because we have tons of bullets at this point. Oh, hi, giant roaches.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna waste bullets on the roaches.
Yeah, I don't think the axe is gonna reach him, is it?
Nah.
That crap. Can we not hit them?
I was able to...
There we go. Just takes a couple of strikes. Here's hoping they're not doing lots of damage.
Okay, screw it.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's dig out the handgun, I guess. Maybe that's all we have to deal with down here. It's still twitching.
Okay, the auto aim's not triggering, so we're good.
All right, cool. So keep going, and then, like I said, when we hit our first fork in the road, turn left. Pretty much all of the items are going left.
Okay.
And in case you're worried about bullets, there is a thing of handgun bullets that we'll be able to get. Oh, okay, what the hell's that?
Whatever it is, it's gonna die.
Okay. Let's kill it viciously with fire.
Okay.
All right, so, fish people, I guess.
More like an insect, though.
It's
hard to tell because of the graphics.
Yeah. PlayStation 1, you did not help with horror games. It's very difficult to figure out what the hell's going on there.
Yeah. Well, at least we know what happened to the merman's illegitimate child. At least it's nice that he was able to get some work.
Well, we know one of his sons went off to go have a somewhat prosperous career on Darkstalkers.
Yeah.
Poor Riku. Never stood a chance.
Well, I mean, better to be known as the curiously handsome fish man than... Because at least that's at least something.
Okay, so I'm going to let you pick. The next crossroads that we come across, or at least the next wall... Oh, hi.
Okay, so it takes 3 shots.
To the left, there is a health drink, handgun bullets, shotgun bullets, and rifle shells, which would be this way. The other way has the sewer map, a save pad, sewer key, which we're probably going to need, and a locked door, which you need the sewer key for. So we'll probably need to hit that first. So that looks like, yep, rifle shells. Oh, thank goodness. So 6 rifle shells that we can now reload into it. And I'm guessing we're just going to save that rifle for next big bad.
Yep.
Which is probably for the best.
All right.
Okay, so go back the other way. It's literally on the other side of where the rifle shells were. So you come over here, and this is where they are. So it gives you a health drink, handgun bullets, and shotgun bullets, which right now, considering the nightmares we just came across, we need. You know, I just barely had this thought when we finished our Moth recording last time. The PlayStation 1 was a good time for horror games.
Yep.
It really was. Like, nothing against anything that came later. They expanded on it, but when horror, you know, we've had this discussion on other podcasts that we'll probably link below, but atmosphere is everything in horror.
Mm-hmm.
And PlayStation, that's what you had to work with. The graphics weren't there yet. This was early 3D.
Yep, and especially when you consider the other factors they were like that you take into consideration. I mean, Toy Story came out in the 90s around the time the PS1 was coming into vogue, so the whole notion of 3D graphics was a relatively new innovation, and so naturally everyone wanted to see what they could do with it.
Yeah, so I mean it's okay, so I think this is one of the locked doors. Okay, you could go through there. This is the room where the sewer key is, along with the save point. So,
and ominous music.
The ominous sounds of this game are driving me crazy.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Pixar, I know like one of the major like Pixar, I think Brad Bird went on record saying that he wanted to make that one of his projects he wants to make is an animated horror film.
Yeah, which, you know what? I'd hand that project over to Brad. He's given me Incredibles 2. I'm okay. I'm okay giving him that. All right, so this is the sewer map, thank goodness.
So now we're not going to be wandering around blind like we were in the hospital.
Oh, thank goodness. the sewer key, which we need, and then
let's
there's
save.
Yes, please. Let's save. But yeah, given what game developers had to work with in this time frame, no wonder a lot of the Hallmark horror games that people bring up, like if they're horror enthusiasts and gamers, it's from this era. It's from PS1 and some PS2 era too.